In today's video, I'm putting 30 mostly homemade things into my new freezer. So for Christmas last year, I got a new freezer from my mum, which was wonderful. So I thought in this video, I'll show you all the things I'm putting in my new freezer. Now you'll see a lot of things in quick succession, but that's only because I took a couple of weeks off over Christmas. I wouldn't normally be making freezer food day after day, but obviously I wanted to fill up the new freezer. Everything in the new freezer will be vegan because I am, but whether you're vegan or not, I think you're going to enjoy seeing the wide range of things that you can put in the freezer. I am exceptionally busy. I'm out almost every evening doing all sorts of fitness classes, and using the freezer is the way that I continue to eat healthy homemade food. I don't like processed food. It's not good for me. So come along with me on this journey. We'll fill up the freezer with lots of homemade goodies, and I think it'll give you some ideas for your own kitchen too. It's meal prep without having to eat the same thing every night, because who wants to do that? Did you know frozen vegetables often have more vitamins in than fresh vegetables because they've got to the freezer quicker in the production process? The first thing I put in my freezer is some peas and some edamame from the supermarket. This enables me to have a side dish on hand or just to throw them in things like casseroles for a little bit of extra protein. The second thing that went in my freezer was some ice. I love fizzy drinks, but I don't like the unhealthy ones. Sometimes I'll just have some sparkling water, put some lime in it, and somehow ice makes everything taste a little bit more special. Now, a couple of years ago, I read a book about processed food, and I had never considered that I ate much processed food until I read this book and realised all of the garbage they put in our really basic staples, things like yogurt and bread. And on that day, I decided I was making my own bread. I've got a really simple whole grain bread recipe. I guarantee, even if you've never made bread before, you can make this one. The recipe is in the video description. I usually make 2 and pop 1 in the freezer. Another thing I keep in addition to the peas and the edamame are some sweet peppers. Usually the red ones are my favourite, and I tend to buy these and chop them myself. You can no doubt buy them ready-made, but I do like to buy them myself. They can be thrown in the oven to be roasted. They can be put into stir-fries or casseroles. They're endlessly useful. Next up, we have some lime rice. I have a whole drawer in my freezer that I now keep for things like rice and grains. And this one is a delicious lime rice. It's particularly nice with things like Thai curries, but honestly, you could use it for anything. The link to the recipe is in the video description. Next up, I made something that I actually eat every day, and this is a sweet treat. So these are dates that are stuffed with peanut butter. They've got some pecan nut in there, and they're coated in dark chocolate. They're low in calories and much healthier than a chocolate bar. I'm going to leave you a link to the recipe in the description of this video. I do hope to put up all of the recipes that I'm showing you today, but obviously it'll take some time. As they get put up, I'll list them in the description of the video. If there's something that you're really keen to see soon, do leave me a comment. Next up is a recipe that I came up with, but I don't actually use it for the thing I designed it for. So I sometimes buy tins of baked beans. It's very big here in the UK to have beans on toast. And I wanted something that was homemade and a little bit healthy. So I sort of designed this very simple bean stew. And although I really like it, I've never really wanted to have it on toast. So what I've been using this for instead is sometimes you want to make a casserole, but you don't want to go through the rigmarole of, going through the full process. So what I've found is that I'll keep this simple bean stew in the freezer, and then I'll get it out and defrost it. And I'll add whatever vegetables I've got sitting around, things that cook fairly quickly, perhaps some peppers, perhaps some mushrooms, maybe a little bit of tofu, just whatever's in the fridge, some green beans. I'll pop it in the oven, add my lovely British dumplings, and there I've got a lovely casserole which took almost no time to make. Next up, I've got some dumpling mix. Now, I love to have dumplings in my casseroles. These are not Asian dumplings, as you'll see from the photographs. These are good old British dumplings made with suet. Now, what I found years ago is that I could make this mix up in advance and just mix a little bit with water when I was ready to have 1 or 2 dumplings in my casserole. But I did find that the suet used to go rancid quite easily. Didn't keep for very long. Putting it in the freezer is the ultimate solution. You don't even have to defrost before use. Next up is a really basic savoury turmeric rice that I use for all sorts of things. It's a very pretty yellow colour. Sometimes people are a bit afraid of freezing rice, but it's actually perfectly safe if you do it properly. The recipe for this one is in the video description. I use it for endless things from curries to savoury dishes and stir fries. I purposely keep the seasoning simple so that it can be used for many different types of cuisine. Let's pop another basic in now, and I've got some frozen fruit. I tend to like the strawberries and the berries, and these go in smoothies in the summer. I tend to have porridge for breakfast almost all year round. I love porridge even in the summer, but occasionally, especially if I'm feeling a little bit like I need a little bit of extra vitamins, I can chuck a load of spinach in there as well. It's not as bad as it sounds. You can't really taste spinach when it's raw. Having some frozen fruit on hand means I can always make a delicious smoothie. Another recipe now, and these are black grains. So I've got a recipe for some black grains. I call them black just because that's the colour they come out. It's basically black rice, and there's some barley in there and also some lentils. That recipe is in the same video as the one for the turmeric rice. This is a lovely nutty side dish that you can have with curries and stews and absolutely anything at all. I always keep this in the freezer. Now, I try to always make my own bread, but there will obviously be times when perhaps it runs out and I don't have time to make any more. Or maybe I'm going on holiday and I don't want to defrost a whole loaf. So I usually keep some flatbreads and some pita breads from the supermarket, some that have got no nasty ingredients in, on the top shelf of the freezer. They're great for when I want a quick lunch too. Next, I've got some harissa potato wedges, so a little bit of a spicy dish here. Again, they're a great accompaniment to anything. If you're making something like a Buddha bowl, then it's great to have some of these in the freezer. Of course, you can make them fresh, but why not make a few extra? I don't think that recipe's on the channel yet, but I'll get that put up soon. They're really very easy to make. What to have for lunch as a vegan? That's a question, isn't it? I like to have some pate, among other things, and a roasted garlic pate that I make with pecan nuts. Freezes so well. You can freeze it in very small pots. Doesn't take up much room at all to pop this in the freezer. Not only can you have it on toast, it's fantastic for having on a baked potato too. It's easy to make and delicious. I'll leave a link to the recipe in the video description. I love roasted vegetables. They're useful for so many recipes, but it is a bit of a pain chopping and peeling all of that veg. So what I do is I do 2 huge trays of the stuff, as much as I can fit into my oven, and then I pop some into smaller portions in little boxes in the freezer. My favourite way of eating this is actually with a warm couscous salad. It's a great one to have after an evening of training. I can just come home and defrost them and pop them on top of my couscous. Also, is quite nice too, stirred into pasta. I roast them usually with lots of garlic, some sprigs of rosemary if I can get hold of them, and I've got a fantastic basis for a meal. Next up, I made a big batch of Pomodoro sauce. So it's really good to have a really basic sort of Italian style sauce, a tomato sauce that can be used for any other pasta dishes. I particularly like to have spaghetti on a Saturday because Saturday is my favourite day. I usually put the day aside for doing some sewing, and spaghetti is one of my favourite meals. But of course, you can have this tomato sauce on any kind of pasta. At 17 is cottage pie filling. So I make a nice cottage pie with sliced potatoes, and the filling does take a little bit of work. It's made with brown lentils, and actually they're really hard for some reason. It's really hard to get brown lentils in a UK supermarket. They have all the other colours, but they don't seem to have the brown ones, so I often have to buy a big bag of them online. It's pretty much as easy to make a big batch of this as a small batch. It's a lovely savoury meal, and I freeze the filling so that then I can just take it out and reassemble it. So the way that you make this up afterwards is you'll get some baking potato. You can just cook it in the microwave, slice it, a bit of oil and salt and pepper, and then it's ready to go in the oven. Often if I'm out in the evening, I'll defrost the filling and then I'll prepare it with the potato, pop it in the fridge. It's ready then to pop in the oven when I get home. I'll take a shower and then my dinner is ready. Okay, the next one is really, really strange, but I'm sure you know the struggle of being given a load of chocolates at Christmas. And particularly if you're vegan, people don't know what to buy vegan, so we tend to get a lot of nice vegan chocolate. They go and search vegan things out for us, which is absolutely fantastic. I love all that vegan chocolate, and I will certainly try to eat it in one single evening if I don't stop myself. So I find a really good way of stopping myself from doing this is with any sweet treats like that is to pop them in the freezer. They're not really nice when they're stone cold, so so I'll pop those in the freezer. And then every day with a cup of coffee, I'll put 1 or 2 out on a little plate and eat those. And I just find it's not foolproof, but it does stop me from scoffing the lot in one go. Next up is a favourite recipe. This is some marinated tofu, and I don't actually cook this before it goes in the freezer. Most of the recipes will be cooked before they go in the freezer, but this one I just put the marinade on the tofu. It's very tomatoey, it's got some Italian herbs in as well, and you could then either grill it, or I tend to cook it in the oven here because the grill on the oven I've got at the moment is absolutely rubbish, and I tend to cook it with cherry tomatoes, with some red peppers, and definitely some mushrooms, served with turmeric rice. This is one of my favourite meals. Let me know in the comments if you'd like the recipe. Did you know you can freeze hummus? Perhaps you didn't. It freezes really, really well, and mine's oil-free as well, and it still freezes well. Now, the reason my hummus is oil-free is because I made it one day by accident and left out the oil. But of course, there is naturally oil in the ingredients in hummus anyway, because we've got the tahini in there. I'll pop up the video for that on this channel soon. I like to make a large batch and keep it in the freezer, and then I can defrost a small amount. It's great on baked potatoes, on the side in a Buddha bowl, or even on toast. I love to eat pizza, and I love to make my own pizza dough. I've got a really simple recipe. It's not too hard to do. Now, in full disclosure, it is always better if you make it fresh. It won't be quite as puffy if it's been in the freezer, but it will still puff up. It will still cook nicely. And for me, it's the ultimate convenience, especially at the weekend, to be able to get out a little batch of pizza dough and make myself just a little pizza with the things that I find in the fridge. Next up is a recipe I always feel a bit guilty about because it's completely inauthentic. It's just rubbish really, but it tastes really nice and it is healthy. So I tend to make a big batch of sort of a tofu-based coconut Thai curry. And as I said, it's completely inauthentic. I just cook up a load of vegetables. The sauce is just tins of coconut milk with a little bit of vegetable stock, and I even put some potato in there. As I said, it's completely inauthentic, but it's also absolutely delicious, and I find it really comforting. It's real comfort food for when I get home late at night. It's not at all hot, it's very, very mild, it's just very savoury, and that coconutty sauce and the potato and the tofu and all of the vegetables. Let me know if you want the recipe for this one, because as I said, it's not at all authentic, but it is one of my guilty pleasures. In addition to having a drawer in my freezer for rice, I have a drawer for sauces. Sauces are fantastic. They'll be the basis of all sorts of meals, and they only take a small amount. You put a little pot of sauce in the freezer, and then straight away you've got something you can chuck on a stir fry. One of my favourite ones is a recipe that was given to me via my mum, and I think her Malaysian neighbour gave it to her. It's a sweet and sour sauce recipe. Now, I think it's authentic, but it does actually have tomato ketchup in, but it's still reasonably healthy. I pop this on stir-fried vegetables, either with rice or on top of rice noodles. And I always pop fresh pineapple in. It makes all the difference. Years ago, a friend gave me a little bay leaf tree, and I love to use bay leaves in cooking. It's been so convenient having it just outside the back door. Now, it's actually a year-round plant, so why on earth would I bother freezing it? I don't like the cold. I don't like going outside in the cold and the dark and the rain to retrieve a bay leaf from my little bay leaf tree, so I tend to keep a few in the freezer, and in the middle of winter it's much nicer just being able to grab one. You don't need to do any special preparation. You're just going to rinse them, dry them, pop them in a little box, and you've always got them on hand. Another sauce I make is Korma sauce, and I usually make the most vast batch of this. Now, this one has a lot of ingredients in, but that's not to say it's difficult to make. It's just a bit time consuming, tons of ingredients. Why on earth wouldn't I make 10 or 12 portions and pop it in the freezer, so I've always got it on hand. Another recipe that's not difficult but a little bit time consuming, and that's some vegetable chili. Again, I'll make a huge pot of this, and it's pretty much a meal in itself. Of course, it's most usual to have it with rice, but I'll also have it sometimes on top of a baked potato. You can even mix it with some cooked pasta and pop it in the oven for a pasta bake. Next up is some lime panko tofu. Now, Can you tell that I'll use any excuse to put lime in anything? And this is a little breadcrumbed tofu recipe. I do cook these and then often I'll use them just to put on top of maybe a tray bake of vegetables. So if I get home late at night from training, I'll tray bake some vegetables, pop this tofu in there as well, because tofu tends to take a little bit longer than things like mushrooms. Then I can dump the whole lot on top of some rice noodles. I normally serve this with a katsu curry sauce. That's not in this video, but I often make some and pop that in the freezer in my sauce drawer as well. It's just a little bit more interesting, gives you a bit of a head start for making a recipe. Served with vegetables popped on top of rice or rice noodles with a little bit of sauce, and is a full meal. Next up, I popped some American cookies in my freezer. Now, I do love to bake, and I love to bake cookies and breads and particularly cake, but you know what it's like once you get to be middle-aged. You can't just eat all of the cake and all of the cookies, otherwise you don't get through the door. And I'm terrible for just stuffing too much of this stuff. So I normally only make these things if I'm going to gift them to a friend. So if I'm going to a social event, I want to take some cookies, what I'll do is I'll make a big batch, take some with me, and I'll put a few in the freezer. Another drawer in my freezer is always set aside for soups. I've got lots of different soup recipes. The one that I popped in my freezer first was some roasted tomato and red onion soup. The recipe for that one is available. If you'll find a link to it. I make all sorts of other soups, including broccoli soup, French onion, minestrone, many different types of soup. The only one that I don't fully cook is the minestrone, because I just make it without the pasta in, so that it's just the basic soup, and then I'll take it out and cook it with a little bit of mini pasta. But there are so many soups that you can pop in the freezer. This one's one of my favourites, and I'll normally have it on a Monday, which is the night I get home latest from training. Let's make dal. Dal is wonderful. I've just put this recipe up on the channel. It's the ultimate comfort food. Now, dal can be a side dish. You can have this in addition to some other Indian type dishes, or you can even just have it on its own with some kind of nice spiced rice and perhaps a few vegetables. It freezes beautifully and makes a fantastic meal, particularly in the winter. So that's all of the food, but there's a couple of bonus items that I like to add to my freezers. Now, the first one is some freezer blocks. Now, not only will these help to keep your freezer cold if the worst should happen and the power should go out, never open your freezer if the power goes out, just leave it and try and keep it as cool for as long as possible. And those freezer blocks are going to help with that process, but I use them all the time as well. So if I'm going to take some food to a friend's house in the summer, if I've made a friend a gift, something like some pate, and it's a warm summer evening, I could just pop 1 or 2 blocks in the bottom of a bag and keep that food cool until it gets where it's going. You can also, of course, take them to the supermarket. If you're buying frozen food, if you've got perhaps a freezer bag, you can pop the blocks in there. I'll even use it if I've got food that's been batch cooked and I need to cool it down. I'm going out for the evening perhaps. The food's too hot to put in the fridge. I'm going to be out, say, 4 hours. I'm not sure what to do with it. I'll leave it in a part of the house. My office is usually unheated. It's got a separate heating system from the rest of the house. So I'll leave it in an unheated room surrounded by the cool blocks. That will cool it down enough so that I can pop it in the freezer when I get home. Cool blocks are endlessly useful. The other thing that I pop in my freezer is, and I learned this from the internet, is a glass of frozen water. So freeze a glass of water. Then when the water is frozen, you pop a coin on top. What this does is that if you get a short power cut, you're going to be able to see, did the power go off for a long while or just, half an hour or so, because you'll be able to see if that water has melted and if the coin is now at the bottom of the glass or halfway down, or it's still at the top. Maybe you were away on holiday and the power went out for a few hours. You're just not sure if this food is still safe to eat. Having the coin in the glass is going to give you an indication of how much stuff in your freezer defrosted. Now, even since I filmed the clips for this video, I've added new things to my freezer. I'm always popping things in the freezer. If there are any recipes that I talked about in this video that you particularly want, do ask, but do pop into the video description first and just check if I've already added it there. I'll use it as a kind of index, and as I make these recipes, I'll pop them down there. But remember, there are so many foods that freeze easily. And if you're a busy person like me, it really is your solution to healthy eating. If you've enjoyed this video, please do share it with a friend. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel. We do more than cooking on this channel, and it is fully approved by cats. Thank you for watching. I'll see you all again very soon.